Hello, and welcome to another episode of Centennial College at the Library. Remember Scamp, the Springer Spaniel who was very helpful? Remember Scamp and, Sir, the dog ate my assignment again. Well, if that plan goes south, I've entered another creative possibility. Meet Polly, my mother-in-law's cat. But that is a story for another day. As you can see, Polly can help us in a similar way. Sir, my grandmother's cat ate my assignment again. And so it begins. Today we'll be discussing APA, good citation practice, and a nod to plagiarism and how to avoid it. Wouldn't you know it? Just in time for the pandemic, APA put together a new manual, a brand new 7th edition, as if the 6th edition was severely lacking. Fortunately, you'll be glad to know that the library is all caught up. We are ready to go with the 7th edition. And on that note, the library is ready to go even in the sense that you can obtain a copy of this publication manual in print from the library if you choose to do so. Here's how. We'll navigate to the library's homepage, scroll down and open the catalog. And we'll enter Publication Manual of the American Psychological Association. Selecting title to give the database a heads up, and search. You'll see very shortly that there's several copies of this renowned manual within our library. Perhaps you're wondering, during a pandemic, how is it possible to obtain a copy of this manual, print manual, from the library when the library is in fact closed? Well, you'll be happy to know that the library has launched a grab-and-go service whereby you can place a hold to get the grab-and-go service started, and our library staff will prepare the item for you. If you do happen to select this publication as something you'd like to pick up, when you arrive, unlike other publications, library staff on campus and librarians will come rushing to meet you. We will be in awe of the person, the individual who has decided to take out this fantastic copy of the publication manual of the American Psychological Association. You'll be an instant hero. You'll go down in library folklore. Anyways, on the more practical side, there are other ways that the library can be of assistance with APA. Here's one of them. In the online environment, the library provides access to Academic Writer, a program devoted to all things APA. You can access Academic Writer in this way. Open up the library's guides. Use the alphabetical All Guides list and go to APA Style. The Academic Writer program is here waiting for you. In this case, it's a click away. If you're if you're entering the library world for the first time in a particular time period, you may have to log in using your MyCentennial login credentials. In this case, I was here recently and got direct access. While there's many things to talk about and discuss within Academic Writer, we'll just point to one thing for now. we can go to Learn and Quick Guides. In this Quick Guide section, you can do many things, including discover different ways of citing your sources and discover different points of entry for your reference list, such as how to create a reference list for a book, a magazine, or a journal article. You can begin the learning process on your own. Another way to discover APA within the library's collections is from the same guide, which we'll return to now. You can use these tabs on the left-hand side to discover formatting for books, articles, websites, images, and more. Let's have a look at the book entry. Here are some common examples that you can draw on. If you have a book in hand, for example, you'll enter author information, publication year, the complete title in italics, followed by the publisher. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect. Let's build our own citation by using this book, Being the Boss. We'll find citation information from the library catalog. Let's head back there now. We'll open another session of the catalog and see what we can learn about being the boss. Of course, selecting title to make things easier for the database. Within the catalog record, you have all the citation information at your fingertips. You have the title, the author, publisher, and publication date. All we need to do now is configure the information appropriately for the APA 7th edition. Here is a slide with the requisite information. And here is information about how to structure that reference. Why don't we try it in Word? We'll start with the author's last name. And why don't we make that font a little bigger? We'll follow along with the publication date and the full title. Let's see if we can remember the subtitle. Oh, being the boss. The 3 imperatives for becoming a great leader. Followed off, of course, by the publisher, Harvard Business Review Press. We should also remember to capitalize the first letter of the first word after the colon. In other words, the first letter of the first word of the subtitle. And, naturally, the title of the book should be italicized. To fancy things up and follow the 7th edition protocol, we'll also include a hanging indent. Going to paragraph and selecting hanging indent. Like the remainder of your paper, the reference list is double-spaced. Spacing double. And there we go. Practice does make perfect. Shall we try it out? Well, pat yourself on the back. You did a great job. And here it is, in case you forgot. Author information, followed by the publication date, followed by the complete title in italics, and the publisher. Now that we're on a roll, why don't we keep going? Why don't we try something else? Here is information for structuring a newspaper or magazine article from a database in the 7th edition of APA. Let's try to find an article that'll meet this description. We can easily do that by having a look in the library's online collections. Returning to the home page, we'll select a collection from our eResources tab. Why don't we open Business Source Complete, a familiar pit stop. And again, the collection is a click away using your MyCentennial login, or, as we've already done, if you've logged into a database in the last few minutes, there's no need to log in again. There's just a seamless transition. Let's try to find a new article. How about this? We'll try to find an article on bottled water. The Ascension of Bottled Water. Again, giving the database a little hint, we'll try a title search. We'll open the information record and have a look. Again, similar to the catalog record, you now have information about the article necessary to build a citation. Also of importance, you have the citation feature within the database itself. Click on Cite and watch the magic happen. The citation information is ordered according to APA 7th edition. You can use this in your own work. You'll see how things are structured: author information, publication date information, article title information, followed by the publication name in italics, and a period at the end. But beware, everything is not quite the way it seems in our database collections. Sometimes the collections make mistakes, as in this example. You can see on the screen that the author's first name and last name are in capital letters. This is not the way in APA 7th edition. As you can see, the database has made a mistake. It's let you down. But why has it done this? Perhaps to keep you on your toes. Perhaps to help you learn on your own. And you can see there's a disclaimer review the instructions, and make any necessary corrections before using. Pay special attention to personal name, capitalization, and dates. Always consult your library resources for the exact formatting and punctuation guidelines. Indeed, by following this tutorial, you're in good hands. Once again, to recap, the database structure has led you astray a little bit. So always be on guard. Always know something about APA so you're able to do it on your own. Before we conclude, let's have a dip into the mysterious world of plagiarism. Let's ask ourselves, what is plagiarism? And how can I find out what it is? Well, you can look no further than the Oxford English Dictionary, where they tell you that plagiarism is the action or practice of taking someone else's work, idea, etc., and passing it off as your own. In other words, literary theft. And the good news for practitioners of the English language, the OED in its complete format is available through the library's collections. We'll have a quick look right here. You can change databases and go to the OED, Oxford English Dictionary. Away you go into the English language. Enjoy. But before we conclude, let's have a look a little bit more into the idea of plagiarism. Let's do a little quiz, shall we? We'll work our way through these 3 questions and see how we do. How about this? In Canada, plagiarism is a crime under the Criminal Code. True or false? If you're quaking in your boots at this point, don't worry. While many bad things can happen if you plagiarize, no one is going to jail. So the answer is false. How about this? If your professor did not discuss plagiarism and academic dishonesty at the beginning of the course, you can expect to be excused with only a note of caution. True or false? I know what many of you are hoping, but unfortunately, it's not true. No matter if your instructor told you anything about plagiarism, it's your responsibility to find out. Now for the final question. If you read a paragraph in an article on the internet and rewrite it completely in your own words, it does not need a citation. True or false? Let's go one step further. Let's imagine that you rewrite every single word. Let's imagine you even create a new word for the, so that now you've formatted the piece of writing entirely in your own words. It must not need a citation then, right? Oh, but it does. It does indeed need a citation, because you have not borrowed the words, you have, on the other hand, borrowed the idea. With these 3 questions under your belt, you're well on your way to learning the ins and outs of avoiding plagiarism. Before we wrap up, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this voyage of APA, good citation practice, and dipping our toes into the world of plagiarism. If you have questions or comments, you can reach me at my email address, rsims@centennialcollege.ca. And thank you for tuning in. Best of luck.